Okay, hello and welcome to the fourth session of the class 9 to 10 bridge course. And in this video, in this session, we will talk about triangles. Triangles is a very important chapter when you go to the 10th standard. There is a lot of questions that you can expect from triangles in the board exam, and some of them can become very tricky also. So what you need to do is, in the 9th standard, obviously, when compared to the 10th standard, the portions are not that much, especially for triangles. But still, you need to understand what you have studied in the 9th standard, and this is a good refresher for you to go and revisit whatever you have studied. And this will be very useful. This will come in very useful when you go to the 10th standard. Okay, first of all, what is a triangle? A triangle is a three-sided polygon, which we know that. A triangle is a three-sided polygon, and it has got three sides, first side, second side, and third side. It has got three angles, first angle, second angle, and third angle. And then it has got three corners or vertices in plural. The singular is called a vertex. And not every triangle has all of these criteria. So the length of the sides are marked by X, Y, and Z. And in case of um, I'm pretty sure you know about this. The sum of all the angles in a triangle is equal to 180 degrees. Okay, now let us look at a property called congruence. It's a very important property and you need to understand this. So two shapes are congruent if they have the same shape and if they have the same size. Let me repeat it. Two figures are congruent if they have the same shape and the same size. For example, if you take the circle here, these circles are exact copies of each other. They have the same radius, and they're obviously the circle. All circles have the same shape. So you can call them congruent because they have the same shape and the same size. If they have the same shape and not the same size, they're not congruent. If they have the same size but not the same shape, they're not congruent. Similarly, if you look at the square here, square 1 and square 2, they are exactly the same. They have the same side. They have the same shape. And similarly, in the case of triangles, if all the three corresponding angles lines are equal, and all the three angles are equal, then we can say that these two triangles are congruent. So two triangles are congruent when everything is same about them. So what you can do is that you can just copy this triangle and paste it on top of this. It'll exactly cover it. So it has to be an exact replica, and only then you can say two shapes are congruent. This is very important. You need to remember this when you go to the 10th standard because you will talk about something called similarity, which is similar to congruence, but not exactly the same. Okay, last one more time. Congruence, same shape, same size. Okay, so there are a few different ways in which you can tell if two triangles are congruent or not. And we will talk about them one after the other. The first is what is called as a SAS congruence. So we have two triangles here. And what is meant by SAS congruent is there's a triangle ABC, there's a triangle DEF. If you take side AC and side DEF, yeah. If side AC is equal to side DF and angle A is equal to angle D and side AB equals to side DE, then we can say these two triangles are congruent. So this is called the SAS congruence criteria or the side angle side congruence. So you have this side AC, which is equal to DF, and then you have this angle A equals to angle D, and then you have side AB equals to side DE, but you have to watch very carefully. The angle must be between the two sides. So AC and then angle A and then AB, similarly DF and then angle D and DE. So the three of them should be next to each other. And if they are equal in two triangles, both the triangles are said to be congruent. The side angle side congruence is what this means. One side, one angle, another side, if they are equal, that means both the triangles are congruent. Okay, so if you see the picture in front of you, this is a new picture, and we are going to be talking about a new type of congruence called ASA congruence. ASA congruence parameter criteria says if there are two angles that are equal to each other in the triangles, and the side in between is equal in both the triangles, then those two triangles are congruent. For example, if you take angle A equals to angle D, angle A equals to angle D, and side AB equals to side DE, side AB equals to side DE, and angle B equals to angle E, angle B equals to angle E, then if these conditions are met, then we can say the triangles are congruent. The triangles are congruent, and this congruent criteria is called ASA congruence. So we talked about the SAS congruence. SAS is side angle side. Now ASA is angle side angle congruence. So just to rephrase, to summarize, if one angle if two angles, adjacent angles are equal, and the side between them is equal, then we say that both the triangles are congruent, and that is called ASA congruence. Okay, so we talked about SAS congruence, we talked about ASA congruence, and we talk about general congruence. In general congruence of triangles, what we said was all the three angles and all the three sides should be equal. But then it does not have to be that we need to measure all the three angles and all the three sides. That is why we have this criteria called SAS congruence. What it means is if you have two sides that are equal and the angle between them equal, that means the triangles are congruent. You don't have to measure all the angles on all the sides. Similarly, if you have two angles equal and the side between them equal, the triangles are congruent. You don't have to check all the angles on all the sides. Similarly, now we're going to see what is called AAS congruence. So in AAS congruence, you have two angles, adjacent angles, and the side next to them are equal. So here, let us say angle C equals to angle F. Angle C from the first triangle is equal to angle F from the second triangle. And then angle A from the first triangle is equal to angle D from the second triangle. And side, okay, so come on. Okay, and side AB equals to side DE on the other triangle. If all these criteria are met, then we call it as congruence. The triangles are congruent, and the type of congruence is called AAS. So this angle and this angle are equal. This angle and this angle are equal. And this side and this side are equal, then we can say that the triangles are congruent, and this is called AAS congruence. So the interesting thing with all these congruences is here you have to measure all the three sides, you have to measure all the three angles, but we don't have to do that, is what these criteria says. You just measure two sides on one angle, two angles on one side, or two angles on one side. And if this meets any of these criteria, then you don't have to measure all the three sides and all the three angles for the triangles to be congruent. And congruence means what? Same size, exact same size, and exact same shape, which means they are duplicates of one another. Okay, now next we come to what is called the SSS congruent rule. Easy. If side AC equals to side DF and side AB equals to side DE, and if side BC equals side BF, both the triangles are congruent. If three sides all the three sides are equal, then ABC is congruent to triangle FDE or EDF or whatever you want to call it. If all the three sides are equal, then the triangles are congruent. This is called the SSS congruence criteria. So according to the SSS congruence criteria, if all the three sides are equal, that is fine. You don't have to measure any angle, because if the three sides are equal, what that means is the triangles are congruent. Okay, now we come to something called RHS congruent. What is RHS? First of all, this applies only to right angles, right angle triangles. What are right angle triangles? Right angle triangles have one right angle inside them. For example, CAB, this is a right angle and this is a right angle. So you have two right angle triangles here. So if one side AB is equal to another side DE, and if the hypotenuse are equal, that means that these two triangles are congruent. So in RHS triangles, in RHS congruence, one side and hypotenuse of a triangle is equal to one side and hypotenuse of the other triangle. So in this case, one side, let us say AB, equals to side DE from each of these triangles, and hypotenuse, which is BC, equals to EF. Then ABC is congruent to DEF. By the way, this is the congruent symbol. This means that this basically indicates that two shapes are congruent. Anyway, so this RHS congruence is only applicable for right angled triangles. And by the way, when we are talking about right angled triangles, what is the hypotenuse? The hypotenuse is the side that is opposite to the right angle. So this is the right angle, and the side opposite to that is this one. So this is the hypotenuse. Same thing, same way. This is the hypotenuse, and the hypotenuse is the largest side in the triangle. In case you have any confusion. Okay, again, RHS congruence is basically where in a right-angled triangle you have the hypotenuse and one side of each triangle equal to the other. Okay, so by this we have completed, we have looked at all the congruence criteria for triangles. So basically, to summarize, when we started, we said congruence means all three sides, all angles should be equal. But we don't have to look at all three sides, all three angles. In this case, if you look at two sides and an angle, if they're congruent, they are equal, then the triangles are congruent. Two angles on a side are equal, they're congruent. Two angles on a side are equal, they're congruent. To three sides equal, they're congruent. And in the case of a right angle triangle, if the hypotenuse and another side are equal, then they are congruent. Okay, I hope this was clear and you were able to understand what is congruence, because when you go to the 10th standard, you will learn something similar, and that is called similarity. Okay. Okay, finally, we have looked at all the congruence properties. Now this is the final part. We will look at three types of triangles. Equilateral triangles. Equilateral triangles have all the three sides equal and have all the angles equal. In an equilateral triangle, the three sides of the triangle are equal and three angles of the triangle are equal. In an isosceles triangle, two angles are equal and their corresponding sides are equal. Two angles equal, corresponding sides are equal. And in a right triangle, one of the angles is a 90-degree angle, and 90-degree means right angle. What is a right angle? A right angle equals 90 degrees. Right angle equals 90 degrees. So these are some of the common types of triangles. Well, there's also another category called scalene triangle. We won't look into it right now. In a scalene triangle, all the three sides and all the three angles are unequal. Okay, equilateral, all sides, all angle equal. Isosceles, two sides, two angles equal. And right angle triangle, one of the angles is 90 degrees. So with this, we come to the end of this particular session. And thank you for watching this. These are very important fundamentals that you need to carry to the 10th standard. And in the next video, we will talk more about other concepts. Thank you for watching.